In a magnificent garden, where flowers of all colors and shapes bloomed, there lived a rose named Rosabella. Amongst the vibrant blossoms, she was the most beautiful and radiant. Her petals were a deep shade of red, and her fragrance was enchanting. However, Rosabella was not only aware of her beauty but also quite proud of it. She would often boast about how she was the most splendid flower in the entire garden and would turn her petals up high, ignoring the other flowers around her. One day, a little daisy named Daisiette approached Rosabella. "You are truly beautiful, Rosabella," Daisiette said with a humble smile. "But beauty is just one of the many wonderful qualities a flower can possess." Rosabella brushed off Daisiette's words, thinking that beauty was all that mattered. As time passed, Rosabella's pride grew. She paid no attention to the chirping birds, the buzzing bees, or the laughter of the other flowers. She believed she was too grand for such simple things. But one fateful morning, a heavy rainstorm arrived. The wind howled, and raindrops fell in torrents. Rosabella's petals, which were so perfectly poised before, were now weighed down by the rain. She could no longer hold her proud posture. As the storm raged on, Rosabella felt her petals becoming tattered and torn. She realized, in that moment, that her outward beauty was not enough to protect her from the elements. She felt vulnerable and exposed, far from the radiant flower she used to be. When the storm finally passed, Rosabella looked around and saw that while many flowers had been affected, they were now raising their heads and standing tall once again. Daisiette, too, had faced the storm but was now blooming just as beautifully as before, even if her petals were a little wet. Ashamed of her pride, Rosabella lowered her petals and spoke to Daisiette with humility. "You were right, Daisiette. Beauty alone cannot sustain a flower. I see now that there is value in being humble and appreciating the simple joys around us." Daisiette smiled warmly. "Every flower has its unique beauty, and every bloom teaches us something special. We learn to endure storms and grow stronger together." From that day on, Rosabella changed. She no longer flaunted her beauty but embraced her fellow flowers, listening to their stories and sharing her own. She realized that true beauty lay not just in appearance but in the kindness of the heart and the ability to connect with others. And so, Rosabella the proud rose transformed into Rosabella the humble rose, radiating a different kind of beauty, the beauty of a kind heart and a willingness to learn from others. Moral of the story: true beauty comes from within, and humility and kindness are qualities that make a person truly radiant.